And we're back with another 2020 Insights. Over to you, Wendy.
Thanks, Katie. Hi, everybody. Yes, I hope you've got coffee there. I can see Mr. Bourne has his coffee. So today, I think following on from our previous Cloud 2020 Insights, we mentioned that we would talk about the 4 insights. And I guess I really want to understand what they are, and what is the technology behind these amazing new products that are being brought out. They are an additional charge, they're an additional licensing SKU, but they do extend the functionality of Dynamics 365 Sales, Dynamics 365 Marketing, and Dynamics 365 Customer Service. But I guess before we start talking about what they are, Ian, can I ask you to kind of give us a little quick run around about AI? Because my understanding is that's what's creating all of this amazing information.
Yeah, good morning, Wendy. Oh, hello, Wendy. A quick run around of AI. Where do you start with that?
I think if we just sorry.
It's 2 little letters. Whoa. I think AI now is kind of permeating across the whole of the Microsoft stack, and it's extremely exciting because it does do some really positive things. And there's lots of bad press about AI, but let's be honest, this does some crazily good things. So if you just think about the out-of-the-box workloads in Microsoft, like Microsoft Dynamics, like marketing and sales, AI is already in there. And in sales, you've got the relationship assistant, and you can decide what it is you want it to look at. But for example, what I find really useful is every now and then it will say, do you want to book a meeting with this person? Now, I might have sent an email saying, hope you enjoyed the demo. I'll give you a call next week. Now, what the AI is doing is going out to Exchange and saying, there's an email there. I think that's related to this person over here. And in the text of that email, you talk about a call next week. Is that a meeting? And it's prompting me to book that meeting, which I think, originally I thought was a bit spooky, but in fact, it really is a helpful thing to do. And I say you can tailor it to the sort of things you want it to look at, which is really cool. Marketing, as you know, one of my favorite workloads. What I like in there is things like it starts to analyze the timing of the conversations, your email conversations with your current customers. So if it knows that when you go to send out an email, you can set a little window and say, right, sometime in this next 48 hours, send this email out. Now, if it knows that I tend to sit down with a cup of coffee at 11 o'clock in the morning and clear my emails, the less important ones possibly, then it'll spot that and it will target that email to arrive in my inbox in time to be top of that inbox at that point in time. But it'll even take account of time zones. So, wow. I mean, that's really, that's really intelligent. So one email sent to hundreds or thousands of people at the right time really can step up those open rates. So that's AI under the bonnet. But what Microsoft have done now is taken that whole AI experience and put it into some really useful tools to enhance what it otherwise is effectively a field database. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I think there's 4 at the moment. I think perhaps we'll just pick over the 4 of those, shall we, Wendy? Do you want to start with one? What's your favourite?
Yeah, I think that's good. Well, the neglected customer service, I think, is my favourite. So my understanding is AI is already there in terms of the knowledge base articles being surfaced on keywords and things like that to the agents, but also via portals to customers if they're putting cases in there. But the customer service insights, I think, is around really helping service agents to engage more effectively and essentially enhance productivity. But it's also about the resolve rates of cases, who's the best at resolving these specific kinds of cases, when do they come in? Those typically come in first thing in the morning. Well, if you've got somebody who's very good at resolving those kind of cases that works in the afternoon, to use a point you made earlier, Ian, then you can actually adjust shift patterns to give your customers a better experience. So I like the sound of that. It's less spooky and more helpful, I think. So for those of us who are kind of thinking, ooh, AI, I think then that's something we can really get on board with as a helpful thing. And like you said, I like the idea that it's helpful for me as a salesperson to engage effectively with an email campaign, or to make sure it goes into somebody. But I know you're particularly excited by the well, there are two, aren't there, that sit with the Dynamics 365 sales, customer insights and sales insights, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just I know you've got that huge passion around customer service, and quite rightly. But I think to be able to see in customer service insights what are the top issues, and therefore can you take them out, because then that's going to save you a huge amount of customer support effort. But then also matching the right customer agent who resolve very quickly particular cases, and learn from them, or recite that, change their shift around so they're hitting those peaks or those times there. Really powerful stuff. Yeah, I should say that the two around sales, so sales insights and customer insights, they you could say the two sides of the same coin, two opposite sides of the same coin. But the sales insights is very much around the team that are selling, and how well they're doing. So who's selling the most of particular brands and particular products, what is how many touch points with a customer before they make that sale, so you can really understand what is the best practice that is striking those sales and get those sales across the line. I mean, it does go to the next level as well, where it will spot that, let's say, Wendy, you've got a call with one of your sales team. It'll spot you've got that call coming up, and it will straight away put together a picture for you of how well that salesperson's doing. It will give you the metrics to go and have that conversation.
Yeah.
And the bit I know that you kind of worries you slightly or freaks you out a bit is the whole bit about being able to also analyze phone calls.
Yeah.
So actually analyze the conversation that your salespeople are having with their customers. So you can see that, Joe has a higher rate of positive conversations than negative. Well, that's good. If it's the other way around, you may want to try and analyze that and say, well, why are you being so negative on the phone? And also the ratio of listening to speaking. So yeah, I know that one. You have more of a problem with that one than the others. I get that.
Yeah, I know. I think if I can see it as a useful tool, I think that then I can see its place. Actually, I really can, particularly if you've got a large sales team. How easy is it to really stay on top of those things? And essentially, you can use it as a help prompt. You might want to consider these things, or even allocate training specifically because you can see that this person needs more help in that area. So, I'm good with it now. I've come to terms.
I think in that positive way, I think using the mentorship like that. So you find someone that's really good at selling a particular product and they've got a particularly positive approach around it. Again, somebody who perhaps struggles with selling that product, perhaps you don't understand it enough or whatever, so they're showing negativity. We'll get the two talking and share that best practice. I mean, that works. I think the customer insights is interesting because this really reaches across a whole heap of platforms. So it's looking at your dynamics, it's looking at your point of sale, it might be looking at your website hits, your customer voice surveys, and it's extracting from that what who your customers are, what sort of typical spend they have, who that customer is that is buying a particular brand, so you can really realign your marketing and your sales pitches to the ones that are most appropriate to buy it, as opposed to remove some of that wasted time and effort with those that clearly it just has no affinity with. So that's really clever. It's reaching across all those different platforms and bringing together those analytics.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Ian, that we're running out of time now to discuss the marketing insights. And what I'd suggest is that we actually cover Dynamics 365 marketing and marketing insights in another call, because we haven't spoken about that yet, have we? And I know that's your new shiny. That's the thing you love at the moment. So that's going to be a really interesting conversation, I think.
I will throw LinkedIn into there as well, because that.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's all coming together, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Yeah. I think you're right. Enough's enough for today.
Great. Okay. Thank you both. Please subscribe, comment and like on this video, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.